thing I'd like to ask you is about a piece of legislation that's been on the statute books for a long time in relation to national security and counter-terrorism, but there is concern that it's being misapplied, and that's the Official Secrets Act. There are suggestions, including very current ones, that there are many who are concerned that because of a fear of the application of the Official Secrets Act, they can't be full and frank in disclosing child abuse, for example. Are you concerned about the misapplication of the Official Secrets Act in that way?
Well, I am concerned about the issue that has been raised as to whether individuals are able to give evidence of child abuse to the child abuse inquiry that we've set up, or indeed to the police, because of the Official Secrets Act. I've been very clear in statements in the House and outside the House that there is a power whereby a lawful authority can be given for an individual who's a Crown servant not to be able to give evidence notwithstanding the Official Secrets Act. In the case of the Kincora investigation, the Hart inquiry in Northern Ireland, it has been made absolutely clear by the Attorney-General that prosecutions under the Official Secrets Act will not take place where people are giving evidence of child abuse to the inquiry. In case of the inquiry being led by Justice Goddard, it would be for the chairman of the inquiry to discuss that with the Attorney-General, but I have written to Justice Goddard suggesting that she may care to look at this example in Kincora and to raise that with the Attorney-General.
Well, this is important. Can I just make this clear? Because the Official Secrets Act is not designed to suppress information relating to child abuse. It's an important piece of legislation for national security, many would argue, but you've cited the Northern Ireland example where the judge there has said no one will be prosecuted under that act. Is it your wish and expectation that no one should be prosecuted under the Official Secrets Act if they give evidence relating to child abuse here in the Goddard inquiry?
If people are giving evidence of child abuse to the Goddard inquiry or to the police, then I would not expect them to be. I would hope that they would not be prosecuted and would under the Official Secrets Act, would not expect them to be. As I've said, I've written to Justice Goddard saying she may, given the concerns that have been expressed about this issue, she may wish to raise this with the Attorney-General.
But you'd like her to?
Evidence.
Would you like Justice Goddard
I wouldn't have written to her if I wasn't hoping that she would do that.
Thank you very much.
But she is independent, of course.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Before we leave that point, but it's not just evidence, is it? Did you see last night's Newsnight broadcast?
I didn't see the whole of it, no.
But you are aware that there's a number of police officers who wish to talk to the media about what has happened in regards to child sexual exploitation, but cannot do so because they might be prosecuted. What you're talking about is evidence given in a public inquiry. Are you prepared to say today that they can speak up in an open and transparent way outside a public inquiry if they feel that the law has been broken and that they won't be prosecuted?
Well, I would hope, Chairman, that anybody who has any information that relates to acts of child abuse would be willing to take that information to the inquiry and or the police so that proper investigations can take place around those allegations and that information that people have. I think that's important. It's for obviously the police to investigate individual allegations against potential perpetrators, but it's also for the inquiry to look at the wider issues of the state and non-state institutions' duty of care for children. And it is in those two environments that I think it is important that any information anybody has is given. And that's why I'm very clear that people should be able to give information into those two environments.
Have you called for a report to find out who actually met these police officers and told them that they would be in breach of the Official Secrets Act if they talked about what they have seen following the raids that they have conducted? Do you know who gave that instruction?
I do not know who gave that instruction, Chairman, and I think what the appropriate course of action would be for the police to look at whether they should be investigating that. As you know, there are a number of investigations now being managed by the IPCC in relation to certain cases in the past where it is said that child abuse investigations were halted or instructions were given to police officers to stop child abuse investigations. So it is, I think, for the police to look into those issues, and obviously the wider question of the state and non-state's actions will be taken by the Goddard inquiry.
So the immunity you're giving today, if we can say that by your statement, is just if those people give evidence, possibly to the very people who have told them not to give evidence.
Well, Chairman, I need to be very clear about this. I have said what I would hope would be the case and would expect to be the case. As I thought I'd made clear in response to Mr. Ellis, the decision as to what is going to apply in the Goddard inquiry is for a discussion between Justice Lowell Goddard and the Attorney General.
Yes.
However, the example in King Cora, the Hart inquiry, is very clear. The Attorney General has made clear that those who are bringing information about child abuse to that inquiry would not be prosecuted.